In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can mix two tracks together, but when one of the tracks does not have, let's just say, a very DJ friendly intro. For example, this could be a radio edit. They typically launch straight into the first verse or the first chorus with 4 or 8 beats of introduction, and it's not usually like a traditional kick drum, meaning it's going to be quite hard to mix. Or maybe you're messing around with more progressive genres like trance or progressive house, which have those long orchestral build-ups, but no real kick drum, making it quite hard to mix. Now, I know from my own past of DJing, if I came across these tracks, I would typically leave them out of my DJ sets. However, I no longer do this because I have found a little method that I do, which helps me to mix these in, and I'm going to share this with you today. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so for this video and this demonstration, I'm using my good old trusty FLX4, meaning that you can do this particular technique on budget controllers right the way through to high-end CDJs. Now on this left-hand deck, I have got All Cried Out by Blonde, the Oliver Nelson remix. Lovely piece of chilled house music, quite old now. I have, for this demonstration, pitched up the tracks ever so slightly because I don't want the YouTube police to take down my video, because that wouldn't be helpful for anyone. But what you will notice here is if I start the track from the start, the intro is not very DJ friendly. Quite quiet, no real kick drums in there, bit orchestral as it were. And it's a nice intro, but it's just not very helpful for us, because when the kick first gets introduced, so the more mixable part, the bit that's easy to mix, the vocals also come along with it. When you wake up, I'll be gone. That is not helpful for us, because we ideally want to mix in the track before that, because we want our audience to enjoy the full verse, especially if it's a sing-along verse. Now, the track I've got on the right-hand side is My Head is a Jungle, the MK remix. Classic house anthem. These are more chilled tracks, so you're probably going to be playing this type of music if you are booked for a house set towards the end of the night. You're playing these tracks towards the end. So imagine that My Head is a Jungle is playing out to the crowd, and we want to mix in this All Cried Out Oliver Nelson remix. And we have been avoiding it just because that intro is quite difficult, okay? So what you're going to want to do, obviously you have to imagine that I'm not chopping in and out both these tracks. So imagine MK is playing out to the crowd. What you want to do is you want to beat match All Cried Out by Blonde, but what you're going to do is, rather than going from the beginning of the track, you're going to find that first kick drum. You're going to find a track that is the part of the track, sorry, that is easy for you to mix. So you're going to find that and mix it in the headphones. Obviously, I'm doing it live, haven't got headphones here because I'm talking to you and trying to do 3 things at once. So we're going to beat match the tracks together first and foremost. Okay, so they're beat matched together. Those tracks will now be in time. Obviously, the mix is in time, but it doesn't make a lot of musical sense because you've got vocals coming out to the audience, you've got your vocals in your headphones, so you're not going to mix it like that. What you're then going to do is activate beat jump. Now, it's very important when you're doing this technique that the tracks are quantized. So quantize needs to be switched on, so that cue here. And also that the beat gridding is correct. So make sure your analysis in Recordbox or Serato is completely correct with the beat grids. Because then what you are going to do is you are going to reverse backwards through the track. Everything will stay pretty much in time. As you can see here on screen, I'm going back 16 beats. You don't have to be 16 beats. It can be however many beats you want it to be. But we're going to reverse backwards through the track to the part where you want to mix. And remember, if you go into the intro, it's also going to stay in time. So we've got the outro coming up. Everything stays in time. You can jump backwards and forwards as much as you want.
When you wake up, I'll be long gone.
Making that transition nice and smooth, it makes a load of sense, and also it just keeps everything in time and you don't lose that nice melodic intro. Very quickly before we continue with the video, all DJs need a record collection, and one of the best ways to build up a record collection fast is via a subscription to a record pool. I have tried many over the years, and my DJ record pool of choice for 2025 is Heavy Hits. It's updated on a regular basis, it's got a really intuitive interface, and it gives you all of the tracks that you are going to need for your DJ gigs. What's even better is it's exceptionally good value for money, which I think is absolutely key against a backdrop of rising costs. If you use my code KARLTHOMAS at checkout, you can try your first month of Heavy Hits for just $5. That is literally the price of a cup of coffee. Check out the link down in the description down below. Use my code at checkout to get your first month for $5, and happy downloading. Back to the video. So there we have it. It is as simple as that. But to recap, because I realize I talked my way through that demo quite a lot, hopefully you could follow. You've got a track playing out to the crowd, okay? This track that you want to mix in is not very DJ friendly. So in the headphones, you find a part of that particular track that is DJ friendly, and you use that as your reference point. So you beat match it from that point. Remember, this is always playing out to the crowd. The one you're mixing in is in the headphones. So beat match it from a part of the track where you can beat match. Do not press pause. Do not press Q on the track that you are bringing in. Make sure you have quantize on, and also make sure that your beat gridding is correct. And then it is a case of using beat jump to go backwards through the track back to that orchestral piece, that musical piece, whatever you want to call it, that unfriendly DJ intro, because at this point it will now be in time, and then you can introduce it into the mix and it will sound absolutely spot on. So there we have it, my method of mixing those tracks which do not have very DJ friendly intros. Hope that you have found this video useful. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments down below. As always, I am around if you want to ask me any questions. Give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will catch you in the next video.